Welcome to Roxtalks. My name is Roxanne Wilson, and this is the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. And today we have a very special guest, months in the making. I'm so glad she can be here for the first, but I hope not the last time. Her name is Molly Mahoney, and she's also known as the Prepared Performer. If you were part of the summit, you hopefully saw her presentation at my summit. And her amazingness, or I should say awesomeness. And so I had to have her back on to talk to you all and to really show and share all of her goodness. Molly is an actress at heart who has now created an amazing online business where she's helping online businesses, entrepreneurs, people like you and me really grow their business through video. But it's not just about video, it's about the funnel that takes you there. And so she knows all things bots. She's got it all going on. And she really works to make sure that she connects with people. She's able to share her values and really impart her wisdom on people and empower them to be better at their business and at life. You're going to love her if you've not met her. And I really encourage you, if you're listening to this, listen, definitely keep listening, but take some time and see, because it is, I mentioned she's former actress and knows her video chops. It'd be great for you to watch this video. Just go to roxtalkspodcast.com and watch it. And so you can see her in action as well too. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, I should say, we're going to talk all things Facebook. She really does. Her platform is Facebook. That's her happy space, although she does dabble in others, and grows those as well too. And so if you want to know how to do Facebook Lives, how to really dive into growing Facebook and being in that one great place and doing it well, she's your woman. So naturally, with Facebook making changes, the Zucks has been making more and more changes. I thought we needed to talk to her and find out about the changes they've made, how they impact you as a network marketer. So let's dive in. Molly Mahoney.
Hello.
We're like socially distancing from each other, which I think we've always done because we've never been in the same room. But I'm laughing about that because we both live in Orange County.
Oh my gosh, so much so. Like so close, which is so sad that now we can't meet at the Spectrum or something.
Exactly. Exactly. We can't do that.
Can't hang at Anthropology. I don't know.
Can't get on the Ferris wheel, the wheel, whatever it is, or go to Disneyland for that matter. But it's, we're in the land of, we're probably going to be in quarantine longer than most.
Yeah. And I mean, we're, we've got, luckily, and as we were just saying before starting this, that we have this kind of a one up on so many people because we have such experience in the world of digital, right? So it wasn't really a big shift for many of us. I was saying earlier that like now I'm used to being alone, and now I have a lot of people who are struggling with their, being alone. I'm like, I need alone time.
You're like, I'm becoming an introvert. What are y'all doing to me?
No, I am. I literally sat in the car with my sister almost in tears. Like this is definitely proven to me that I am 1,000,000% an introvert. And I think most people would not expect that because right. I bring the energy and I on camera or in the room or whatever, and I can keep going. But then I definitely need that
recharge time.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Well, thank you for being here. And as I've told everyone, you are like, in a lot of ways, I don't know if muse is the right word. I don't know if it's the right word, but what I love is I always learn something from you and you inspire me, which does make it a muse, to do different things in my business. And some of that we'll talk about here. But I love everything that you do. I mean, you're branded, her hair is branded. It's all branded. Bangs are branded. But when it comes to Facebook, really, and we all know that all social media platforms are going to change. Why? Because we don't own them. So they're definitely going to change. And the Zucks has made a good point of making sure that things constantly change. When I think about Facebook changes, I think about Molly Mahoney because you're always right on it. You've got the goods. And so thank you for being here with us today to talk about what's changing, how to deal with that change.
Yeah. So I will say in line with that, I had a client say something to me recently. It was a couple of months ago, actually. And I thought, I'm going to keep repeating that again and again. She said that she was really struggling with staying on top of those changes. And then she had this big realization. And she said, you know what? It's not my job to stay on top of these changes. Molly, that's your job. and I'm going to let you do your job and keep me informed.
I love it. And you're like,
Perfect.
yes, check. And that's exactly right. So thank you for coming on to help network marketers kind of figure out those changes. And I think I want to start really with a main change being that before, as my sister calls it, the Rones, Facebook wasn't performing as well for network marketers as it was before. Movement was a lot on Instagram. And while movement is still there, I've been telling my clients, listen, if you feel like your spirit animal is Facebook, you can actually stick with it now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've seen not only in the amount of people who are producing content on Facebook, which can kind of seem like scary at sometimes because it's like, oh, but there's more people who are showing up and doing it. Don't let that stop you because most people are showing up and doing it very poorly, just so you know. And the consumption rates are way up. So in one of the recent times that Mr. Zuckerberg spoke, he said that they had seen a huge increase in consumption. So people don't have anywhere else to go.
Mhm.
So they're really diving in and spending much more time there. And also when it comes to everything digitally and video, right? People are making huge changes in even as things are starting to open back up and realizing that people can work from home and be just as effective. So I think even though I'm, hoping that we are able to get back and I can hug people again soon, there's definitely going to be a lasting change just in our lives as to what people finally, like what you and I have been trying to convince them, people are finally realizing like, oh, I can actually be really effective online.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's sped things up. And of course, there's a lot of negative things that have come from the Rones, but a
Oh my
positive
gosh.
thing is that it sped up some of these things. We're going this way anyway. And so for
Yeah.
those who were naysayers saying social media is not going to build your business, au contraire, mon frere, you were wrong. That's my French for your kids, by the way. Au contraire,
Thank
mon
you.
frere. Poorly said, but you got me.
However, for those who don't know, my kids go to a French speaking school and I don't speak French. So it's like a consistent learning experience. Like yeah. And I mean, the more that we can, so really when you can recognize that these changes are actually the best opportunity for you to be able to gain a new, sprint to the front of the race
Mhm.
because you figured out those changes. So for example, and what I really love about the fact that we're talking about this is it doesn't matter if you're listening to this in 2025 and a change happened, then this is going to be applicable to you because when these changes happen, the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever, the platforms push the newer things to the front. They give the most organic reach to their newer things. So if you can jump in, like with rooms, for example, you'll notice on the bottom of your the top of your news feed, right before you actually see the news feed, there's a little line of boxes. And if someone has a room that is scheduled, then it shows up right there. Facebook is like giving you this extra added visibility. So the more you can jump in and use these tools, the more you'll be able to capitalize on the organic reach.
Which is really smart, but also using them well, right? Using them in
Oh,
the right
thank
way.
you. Yes.
Well,
Because
that's everything. Like, I know just because I said, yes, you can build your business on Facebook right now, not the spammy tammy way you were doing it before. Like,
yeah.
it's got to be with best practices. Let's dive into rooms though, because you mentioned it, and that's one of the newest kids on the block, which sounds very cool, but what does it mean and how can we use it as network marketers?
So one of the things that I'm really excited for network marketers about rooms is that you can use it to host parties. And so if you are, and let me just actually talk about parties for a second, because I have kind of a different take on this. You want to make sure if you're hosting, we'll just use that typical word party. If you're hosting some sort of party where I mean like you have a hostess who's like an affiliate basically who gets a group of people together to learn about your products.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? They don't care about your products. They care about the community experience. They care about the solutions that you can provide. So if you can make, like, let's say you're selling makeup and you can teach people how to do a 5-minute face. You can teach people how to do a smoky eye. You can teach people how to look more confident by looking younger and more awake with their eyeshadow, whatever. Like figure out the thing that your people want,
Uh-huh.
teach that to them, and you can teach it in a virtual party experience that's totally new. It's fun. You can actually play games, use filters, all kinds of stuff in there. And it's been something that's been really, it's a huge opportunity. It's so new. So I haven't really seen anybody do it, but we've been using it internally for Q&As, and the opportunities for parties like that are so cool.
So are you saying that it would in some ways replace what people were using Facebook groups for in that regard for the parties?
So I think you
Or
would want to
could?
have it in conjunction because, so just to explain what a room is it's like a mix between Facebook Messenger chat or FaceTime
Mhm.
and a Zoom room. So you can have, like, I think they said up to 50 people on screen, up to 100 in the room, something like that. It can actually get pretty crazy.
Wow.
When you do it on your phone, you can only see 8 people at a time. And some of this may be changing over time. We were actually playing with it this morning, and I kept thinking like I could do it like Zoom where I could scroll and see more people who were on. I could not do that. But things that you can do is you can screen share, you can see lots of faces, you can see the participants, so you can see everybody's name who's showing up. You can create a room that's inside a group, and when you create it, a post is created that says, "Hey, Molly just created a room. Do you want to join?"
Nice.
And
So
then
it's
you can also get a link to share it with people.
so it's almost more event based. Like I'm here right now. Come on
Yes.
over. Come on into the like Zoom. Like you said, it's Facebook. We know Facebook it wants world domination. So if they see something they like, they either buy it or make one.
Or copy it.
Exactly, copy it. And so you can go in there. So I can see how that would be great, especially if you've got a group that where you have all the people who are kind of interested, and you say we're having a party right now. Come
Yep.
on in and find out the newest, coolest, whatever it may be.
Solution to your problems.
Yes.
And the other thing is, even if people aren't on Facebook, you can actually, there's a link that you can get and share it with them. So you could have your hostess share the link via email or text message, whatever, and they can join that room. They don't, if you're creating it inside a group, I think that they probably have to, yeah, they do. They have to be in that group in order to get access to that. But if you're just creating it from your regular Facebook profile,
Mhm.
I did that today also, and it just creates a link that you can share with anybody can come in and join.
Awesome. Awesome. That can
Cool.
be very creative and new, like you said.
And you can schedule them too. So if you schedule one like an event that's, let's say, tomorrow at 10 a.m., at the top of the news feed, they'll see Molly event tomorrow, like room tomorrow at 10 a.m. So it makes like, I mean, the placement is bananas. It's like crazy. It's kind of how they did that with stories for a little while, how they pushed
Mhm.
the stories. Same
Mhm.
thing they did with Facebook Live. So really, we're back to the theme, which is if something new, if a new tool is coming out, jump in and play with it just to get that extra visibility and try and make sure you're being strategic with it as well.
And what do you have to lose from it? I mean, no one's gonna be
Yeah.
like, "She did that wrong," because no one knows how to
Yeah,
use it.
exactly. The playing field is instantly even again, which is so cool.
Mhm, that's awesome. So I love that. So if something's new, jump in, embrace it, and get into it.
Yeah,
Love it.
totally.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But something you said that I think was so good about that too, though. Think about what the person would be interested in. Like you said, no one really cares about buying your product. They want to learn whatever it may be. It's not about the product. So
Yes.
please try and remember that as you're doing these, because it's easy to just default back to what's in it
Well,
for
and
me.
and watch the language that you're using because this is something that I notice so often, and I've been so guilty of it when I was in a network marketing company as well. We use terms that people outside of our community don't understand.
Mhm.
I do it a lot, honestly, as a marketer now too. I'll say things like, I had a call with a client yesterday who and she said, once I finally realized that when you said leads, I could just change that in my mind to the word community, then I was okay. But every time you said the word leads on a training, I would get stressed out because I didn't really know what that meant.
So you
And
don't
I was
even
like,
like we don't even know what we're saying. That's like,
yeah.
yeah.
So like with, let's say with Unique, for example, they have the kudos. Every month there's a new customer kudos. Nobody knows what that is. So if you say like, "Oh, the brand new kudos, come learn about it," they're gonna think you're talking about a chocolate bar or something.
If they're old like me,
Right.
yeah, I think chocolate.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I think, "Yay, good
Or
job."
it's like a award ceremony or
Yeah,
something. Yeah.
exactly.
So you've got to really be careful about those words that you're using and making sure that you're deeply connecting with that ideal person that you want to serve.
I love that. That's so important. And really, the less you brand it, your company, and the more you brand even the rooms as yourself, that's really gonna help with it as well too.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. And that way, you can provide what I call non-product based solutions. So everything doesn't have to be about, using the makeup example, everything doesn't have to be about makeup. You can also give style tips, even if you're not even an affiliate of a style program. Maybe you've got a girlfriend who sells LuLaRoe. So you guys can do something together and celebrate each other and know that you're really serving your ideal community member at that deeper level by really looking in and solving their problems.
That's fantastic. I love that. So it seems that's the big change they made is rooms, right? That's
Yeah, so that was one big change. They also recently, like, the shops thing is totally different, which is
like,
cool. And
yeah.
yeah, so much. So now the shops of this, you can, when you create a shop, and they're just rolling it out, but when you create a shop on Facebook, it's if it's on Instagram, it's the same shop on Facebook. So the two are connected. One thing that I noticed that is not happening is when you go to checkout, if you have things in like your basket or whatever, like your checkout cart, it does not transfer to the other platform.
Oh,
So
okay.
I thought if I put things in the checkout cart on Instagram and then I went to the same shop on Facebook, it doesn't relay that. I know, yeah, there's like a lot of changes that have happened with the shops. So definitely, uh, I just did a huge training on it this morning. There's some things to watch out for because they actually are recommending other people's products while you're in your shop. And I thought that was super weird.
Without advertising, that's even
Yeah,
weird.
it said like other products that are available. And I was looking at a note card shop that had like handmade cards.
Mhm.
And then it was showing me like leggings. And then it started showing me products from the marketplace. I was like, this is weird. Like caviar. It started showing me, I didn't mention that today.
Well, no, that makes sense. Handwritten cards, caviar, and leggings go together.
I mean, so well. I was like, what is actually happening? Because I feel like Facebook ads have me down pretty well. They are not using that for these shops yet. So the shops I may wait to use. I will say one other change that's coming that hasn't come out yet that I am so excited about is the ability to have people pay you for your live videos. So they're combining live videos and Facebook events, and it'll have a paywall on it.
Wow.
So you can, if you charge like even $5 a person for a class on how to use all this stuff, how cool is that? That they're investing just a little bit to learn more, which is going to open up that ability to want to invest even more in
Mhm.
your products or in joining your team.
That is amazing. And you're right. That's the first step. If they're going to give you $5 for something, then they're more apt to
Yeah.
then, yeah.
And one of my favorite things about that, we've actually had several um, community members in LuLaRoe who've done this. If you can figure out an objection that your ideal team member or your ideal customer has to buying from you or to joining your team, and create a training around that. So with LuLaRoe, I mean, this probably could be with any product really, but with LuLaRoe, one of the big objections was, well, I don't have any more room in my closet. Like, so
Inventory. Yeah.
yeah. So we had a closet clean out and organization training
Nice.
because now there is more room to buy
Now there's
more
more room.
clothes.
Got
Yeah.
an excuse to buy more. That's brilliant. And that'll work for any of the apparel like Zaya or
Yeah.
Savvy or any of them.
Or
That's
even makeup. Like how often do we hold on to
always.
makeup that's like old that we should not actually
It's
have?
only 15 years old. I love
I
that color.
mean,
It may never come out
exactly.
again. Come on now.
Ugh.
That is
I just bought, I'm obsessed with um the lip sense no, I can't even, I've like blocked it because I'm so emotionally upset by
you
this.
told me about this the last time. There's
Did
a
I
certain
really? Because
shade. There's
I'm
a
really
shade that you
obsessed with
love.
Purple Rain and they just
Yeah.
discontinued it.
Oh my gosh.
I had like,
Awkward.
I mean, yeah, I bought 10 of them. So
So when you know what
yes,
you need to
stocking
do
them.
is you need to like reach out to every rep and see if they have it like in their inventory that they bought ahead of time and get it from them.
Yeah, well, no, I bought 10 from my girl.
Oh, okay.
She found them for me. She messaged me right away. She was like, look, I even have it right here. She messaged me like, SOS, this is happening. But
That's love right
so,
there. She
I know
cares.
she did. But there, perfect example. She's solving my problems.
That's right. Service,
Anyway,
service, service. I love that.
there you
Okay.
go.
So loving these changes because I think it's good. And and I like the idea that it's giving people a way to, if you know your people on Facebook, we have to remember that if you know that they're there, don't give them 20 steps to try and get to what they need to get. If you can
Yeah.
meet them there and have them pay for things there and have the community there, then awesome. And I'll admit, there's no other place online right now that does community like Facebook. You just can't
Yeah.
get it on any other platform
It-
but Facebook.
True. It does not exist the way that it does on Facebook. So there are some really cool things that you could do, which I'd love to share about ways that you can use other platforms to either create content for Facebook, also to drive traffic to things like this whole ecosystem. Can I
Yes,
share about
please.
that?
Yes, love
Okay.
the
So
ecosystem.
when it comes to the foundation, like when it comes to these changes, we have to remember at all times, no matter what happens, no matter what platform you are on, I want you to remember the social triangle.
I knew you were going to say that. The burrito.
Oh, the burrito, the
Taco.
quesadilla.
Yeah, the quesadilla. That's right, the quesadilla.
Okay, so we're going to get into the quesadilla in just a second. But
Okay,
before the quesadilla, and I can't remember if I've told you this before, but this social triangle idea is the precursor to the quesadilla of awesome. So here is what it is. When you are looking to up your organic reach, when you are looking to have your paid ads do even better, you have to recognize that there is a triangle that will unlock all of the goodness of the algorithm. So here's what it is. The first piece is you, as a human being, have to actually show up. We'll get into the quesadilla of awesome in a second. But first of all, you have to actually post. Now, sometimes I have clients that are like, I'm doing my weekly value video on my business page and I'm just not getting the results that I want. And then I go look at their personal profile and I see that they haven't posted in like 14 days. So if you're only using the platform to put out your business content on your business page and you're not actually engaging with any other humans, do not expect the platform to work for you.
That's
Number
a
one,
really good point.
you have to actually show up. Number two, so same scenario. Someone's like, I've been doing my weekly value videos and I'm not getting results. I'm like, oh, well, let's go look at your video. So we go look at the video and I can't tell you how often this happens. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I see that you have 8 likes. And then they'll say like, oh, that's just my sister. I'm like, do you have 8 sisters?
7 brides for 7 sisters.
Yeah, exactly. I like the equality of that. The 7 brides for 7 sisters. That's so good. Okay,
You're welcome. Yes.
Thank you. It's in tune with my values. Okay, so then she's like, well, no, but let's look at it. So I click on it and I'm like, okay, I don't know these people, so I'm going to go through them with you. First person, who's this? And she's like, my sister. I'm like, okay. Second person, who's this? My sister-in-law. Okay. Third person, oh, actually, that's someone who I met a long time ago at a conference. Interesting. Next person. Oh, that's actually somebody who was a customer of mine before, but hasn't actually bought anything in a while. So every single time I do this, I'm finding people like this, and we're missing the fact that there's actual human beings sitting right in front of our face who want to be connected with.
Right.
So that's the second piece, is your ideal client, who most likely is actually there. Now, there are times when I go to a business page and there is 0 engagement. So I get that. That's where you have to start showing up in Facebook groups and other places and actually talking to human beings, growing your network. That is your job. Just like when I was an actor going to auditions, most of them did not actually happen, but it was my job to show up and audition, even if it would turn into a no most of the time. Right. And then I had some really awesome things come out of that, but you got to show up and do the work. So connecting. Now, that's only 2 things. That is a line and not a triangle.
Right.
If we want to create the triangle, we need that third piece. Do you know what the third piece is?
It's social media. It's Facebook, right?
It's the platform.
Yeah, it's the platform.
Yeah. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's whatever, we have to recognize the platform wants something as well. What they want is to be able to have more people on the platform for longer so they can put more ads in front of them. So if we can create content that is like sequential, that they want to keep going through, if we can create content that's longer content, if we can create things that are consistent and they come back for more, and if we can get them to engage feeding the platform and their comments and their likes and all of that, we will get that extra boost of organic reach.
The platform is a jealous lover.
It is.
So you have to constantly, which means also that you can't be doing things like, jealous lover.
I'm petting them.
You can't do that. And if you're not watching, you don't know what just happened, but you just have to watch the YouTube version of this. You can't be sending them to other places often. They don't.
Right. So you want to be perfect. So that's like such an awesome transition into the ecosystem, because like if you want to send a link, don't put the link right away in the post. Ask people to let you know if they want the link.
Mhm.
So then people are commenting, and then you can reach out, reply to that comment and say, hey, I'm so glad you're interested. I'll send you a message. Then you go send them a message. So you're feeding the platform. Then you send the link.
It's extra steps because because really the platform gets to decide if you get to play.
Yeah. And you wait. Okay. So if you don't want to put the extra time in, you can pay for ads.
There you go. Boom.
So you're going to put in and also I have been like on this kick lately, especially with where we've been staying home more. And I get that, like, let me tell you, it's a lot. And you know, how grateful are we and that we have the ability, you and I are not sick. We are, you know, there's so much to be grateful for.
Mhm.
But when I see that people are not actually showing up, I'm also like, if you want this to be a business, would you just shut your doors and not open them? You've got to
No.
open your doors.
Yeah, I mean, look at the restaurants who have transformed into selling toilet paper, and why? Because they're in business
And
and they're
they're
going to
going back to that same thing and looking at the problems people are experiencing.
exactly.
There's a place in Anaheim called Strongwater. It's newer. I don't know if you know it.
I'll have to
I
check it out.
highly recommend it. It is a brand new tiki bar. And oh my gosh, they are selling these amazing, like, first of all, vintage dishes that they are like limited edition that you can order with your food and your cocktails. We only did it once, and I like they don't deliver is the only problem. You have to go pick it up. But each thing came with like tiki mugs and the garnishes and like a flower and a leaf and like all this stuff. So we created this amazing tiki experience.
I love
And
that.
it's so awesome.
I love that.
They're offering Zoom backdrops that look like the inside of the restaurant.
See, but that's genius. And then when they open back up, where you want to go? You want to go there.
Yeah.
Strong
So strong water.
water. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I love that.
So good.
It's so yes, I agree with you. I mean, and you're being very kind by saying it. And let me, the woman who has no kids, just step into it for a second. But regardless of what's going on, everybody's busy. Everyone's having a lot, and some of you are doing more than others. But show up, even if it's for 5 minutes online a day. Show up.
Yeah. And that's actually, in my GLAM program, GLAM stands for Go Live and Monetize. We had a whole call about this on Tuesday, because really what's most often happening is our own like emotional stuff is coming up.
Mhm.
When like, I can't do that. I can't. If we're letting all of that stuff come up, as opposed to looking like, okay, I have literally I could spend 5 minutes going through and liking somebody's stuff. Maybe you need to take an hour to organize your shiz so that you actually can do it easily. There's this new tool, which I will send you information about when it finally comes out. And it is so cool. It is a Facebook Chrome extension. My client created it, and it is like the most mind-blowing thing ever. It allows you to add everyone from your Facebook group into a CRM, a separate tracking system.
Yeah.
And you can track the different stages of conversation that you're at with them.
What?
You can save, like, it's so amazing. So that if you're feeling overwhelmed by like, how do I actually follow up with people? Just know that there are tools available for you.
Yes, you're
And
gonna
there's
send me that for sure.
systems.
There's
Yeah,
systems,
it's cool.
there's ways.
Oh my gosh, I'll connect you with her because she would be so great on the show too.
Oh, please do. I'd love to have her
I
on.
love it. Yes, so good. Okay. So good.
Always.
Yeah, but so like, but the more you can put systems in place for this kind of stuff and ask for help.
Mhm.
So
Ask for help. People want to help.
Yeah.
The other thing I find is people don't, because, you know, if anyone's talking to Molly, she's probably going to tell them that they need to do video. And I think the biggest issue with video is people are afraid, people who won't do it. People who are going to clean out their closet before they do video, or, you know, all the things they don't want to do, is because they're afraid, or they feel like no one wants to hear from them. And I think we don't realize that we all have a superpower. We're all no, you're not all Molly Mahoney. You're not. I'm not Molly Mahoney, but I've got something to offer, and so do you.
And it's a good thing that you're not me, because I'm sure people would like they would go crazy if everyone was talking to them as fast as I do every single day. They would probably lose their mind. So it's like, and that's where the Quesadilla of Awesome really comes into play. So it's recognizing, like, if you take, and sometimes, especially since you and I have had this conversation, I get like, am I repeating myself? But I know I've not said it here today, so I'll explain it. We take everything that you have in your business, all of the goodness, you're going to put in your hands like this. So do it with me.
Of course.
That's why it looks like the triangle.
It does.
It looks so similar. Okay, this is your Quesadilla of Awesome. No, this is not your Quesadilla of Awesome. This is your business. All the benefits that your products provide, your team opportunities, all of that, and you're going to throw it in the air. And now it's floating above you like Mikey TV and Willy Wonka. Mm-hmm. And what are you left with? You. And this is the part, like you just said, that's the most awesome and the most terrifying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we have an exercise called the Quesadilla of Awesome. It's so good to do with your teams. It's like in a really way, oh my gosh, I have a bunch of new people in this group, and we were talking about how not everybody really knows each other. And I'm going to do this I'm going to take my own advice. So here's what I would suggest you do is you do a post in your team group or even in your like VIP group and give them this challenge. And here's what the challenge is. You're going to list 20 things that make 20 things that make you a uniquely awesome human. And I know that can be tricky. So I give categories for it. There's an acronym. The acronym is the word SAVE, which is 5 letters. You may think it has 4, but I can't spell, so I spell wrong on purpose, and then we all get over it. So it's SAAVE. And the things in this little acronym are your skill sets. So the things that you're naturally gifted at, that you've always been gifted at, you know you got some. The next thing is your appearance. And the more that you can celebrate things about your appearance, the more confident you will be when you show up. Not, the problem is if you show up and you're feeling bad about the way you look and you're apologizing for the way you look, that energy is going to go through the camera.
Yeah.
I do so many videos where I am like, no makeup, hot mess Sally. And it's fine because I know that I can show up and be that, but it's my own energy. It's the way that you bring your energy to the camera.
Well, and I think it's good to mention that too, because now people feel like I've got to look amazing. And I tell people, if you look amazing during quarantine, I think you're full of it. I actually don't trust you as much as if you just came on going, yep, I'm in my bathrobe, been wearing this shirt for 3 days. What of it? Like
totally
to that. And the way
I did a video so I do a lot of videos in my bathroom actually, but I did a video this week cutting my bangs. It is the most engagement I've had in, I don't know, a year, at least on my personal page. And when I go back and look at it, the beginning of it is like me starting off with just really long, wet bangs in front of my face. Like I went back and looked at it later. I was like, I kind of look like the Tiger King, but
well done.
Because I should make a GIF of that. The rest, because like this, like I looked like I had a mullet. Like everything was like squashed down and long and stringy, and then I had my bangs in front of my face. And people were freaking out, like, don't do it. And I said, guys, like, if whatever, like if that messes up, it doesn't even matter. It'll be a funny story to tell. So, but I was pretty impressed. I dyed my hair myself. I feel like I'm like going to be a hairdresser.
Yeah. Not really.
But
you've done well.
That stuff.
Yeah.
And sharing the behind the scenes of it. I also, because there was a company that tried to get me to rep their curling iron, I burnt off a huge chunk of my hair.
With their actual curling iron?
Oh yeah. Not on camera.
Oh,
no, unfortunately. But I just was practicing. I don't know. It wasn't a curling iron. They sent me a flat iron. They wanted me to curl my hair using a flat iron, which I was like, I don't know people who, I do know people who do that, and it is not me. That's not part of my Quesadilla of Awesome. Okay, wait. I got us so off track by talking about all of that.
Appearance. We're on appearance.
Okay, appearance. Thank you. The next thing is your activities. So the things that you love doing. Now, right now, if we're still in this stay home mode, that may be difficult. And when something is difficult, it is an amazing opportunity. So you know what I've been doing? I've been going on pretend cruises. Not even on the weekend. Sometimes I go on a pretend cruise in the middle of the day.
I saw a picture of you on a cruise. Weren't you like in your backyard with your husband on a cruise? Is that was a thing,
It's
right?
a real thing. So we were supposed to go on a Disney cruise that obviously got postponed. And during the week of spring break, I was like, thank goodness I don't have to get them on any calls. We're all going on a cruise. And I just decided I am taking myself on a cruise in my mind.
Best cruise ever.
It's the longest cruise ever.
Still going? Is it
Awesome.
still going?
Yeah, it's still going. So actually, for the training that I did this morning, I was like, let's all meet in a room. And when you do the rooms, you can set a little like emoji.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked the palm tree and I said, we're going to have a Q&A on a pretend cruise. So everyone came and joined me on the Q&A and the pretend cruise.
Love it.
What does that do? By talking about something like that consistently, the next time someone goes on a cruise, there's a good chance they may think about me.
Absolutely.
So good. Okay. So activities was that one. The next one is your values. So I talk about this a lot. That our number one value is to stand for joy as a fierce form of activism. We also talk all the time about how kindness is more important than anything else. When my kids leave the house, I say, what's the most important thing in our family? And they say kindness. It's like, it's the one thing. And then a little bit of hustle, because I used to talk about the hustle, but then I realized I was burning out. So I didn't want to put that out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though I talk about that my stand for joy thing all the time, it's interesting to me that when we share without being like overtly negative, when we share the true, like our true values, which may be a little polarizing, that's when we actually either attract the people that we really want to work with, or we realize maybe we need to do a values check.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that something though? I mean, it's not, you don't want to be controversial just to be controversial, but
No.
when you stand for something, that's when people, there's no gray.
Yeah.
There's no gray.
Yeah. And I find that it's interesting during this time. Obviously, there are many people who are leaning towards standing to something with with a negative tone, and they're getting unfriended and removed from people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're building a business and you're at first, I would love to know your thoughts on this. I really believe that entrepreneurship and building a business and putting it out there online, and especially with the amount of visibility that we're gaining, it is the best form of self-growth.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you said, because there's so much attention to it right now, you're going to learn really quickly. And I told my clients, my community at the beginning, I said, listen, we're in this for, I don't know, 30 days, 50 days, whatever, but let's get as much done as we can get done with our business now. All these things you've been putting off doing, get it done, because and I feel like it's just sped everything up like 5 years, like where people would have been 5 years from now, they are right now, for the good or the bad, whatever it is, business wise.
Yeah. And it really gives us a chance to, anytime there's something that is seemingly bad that happens, you can look at it like, is this happening to me or is this happening for me?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If you can see it as an opportunity for you to be able to learn from it, to help others from it, like to ask yourself what lesson is available here, it's so beneficial.
100% agree.
And it doesn't mean that like you don't, because this weekend I was talking to a friend who used to be a coach of mine, and she was like, just make sure that you actually like let yourself feel how, be upset about some stuff too. So like, don't think that I haven't spent some days crying. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I hear
but
you.
It's like as quickly as you can get to that place of like seeing what's possible and how you can become a part of the solution, the better. So that's a little values tangent.
But that's a great tangent to have. And that's good to like have, like you said, to have those highs and lows. Listen, my packages, when they don't come on time, that's like a sad moment for me these days. I'm like, what is my deal? But that's my joy, is like getting a package in the mail. So when it doesn't come, oh my goodness, stay away from it.
And it's good to recognize what those trigger points are, right?
I've told Scott, I'm like, I'm having a bad day because my package is still sitting in Macon, Georgia, and it's been 2 weeks now, but it's going to be like, it's a bad day.
It's good to recognize that. Right. What can you learn from that?
And I know it's not a major deal. Trust me. I'm like, I know this is not a big deal in the grand scheme of life, but I'm choosing, this is my bad day moment. So this is what it's going to be.
Take yourself on a pretend cruise.
Yeah. No packages on a cruise. All right, fine. I'll go.
Yeah. That's all. You're just out in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
That's right. So
Oh my gosh. Okay. So the last thing to eat,
Yeah.
yes, is things you like to eat. And this is an awesome opportunity for that with staying home. Oh my gosh. I learned about a new way to make quesadillas on TikTok. And it is the coolest, most life-changing thing that has
Now
happened
you're going to
to
have
me.
to tell us how to do it.
Oh my gosh. And I did a Facebook Live on it. So you take the tortilla, okay? You put cheese in it. Now, the first time I did it, I just used cheese because I was scared. And I used sliced cheese, not shredded cheese like you might usually do. And let me tell you why. One slice of cheese, and not like Velveeta, but like real cheese. Put the sliced cheese in there, okay? Then you can actually add beans, the salsa, whatever you want to add into it. We even did it with breakfast burritos. So I did it with cheese and eggs, avocados, and sour cream. I added the sour cream after. Don't put the sour cream in first. Okay, so whatever you want to put in the tortilla, you want to make sure that when you fold it in half, because you're going to fold it in half, it's not two tortillas, it's just one. You don't want too much like spilling out of it. It has to kind of be inside it. Then you fold the right and the left side over, so it makes this little like envelope.
Like a handkerchief. Like a
handkerchief. Yeah, exactly. Like you would do a handkerchief.
A
like
pocket square. Yeah, okay.
Pocket square. Oh my gosh, such a good example. You take that little pocket square, you put it in the toaster.
What?
No, it works.
That's a thing?
Oh my gosh, I learned it. My friend saw it on TikTok and she sent it to me because I talk about quesadillas all the time.
You do.
So this is my point. I talk about the Quesadilla of Awesome, and I'm going to give you a trick that you can use for this. But I have people send me things when they're at restaurants and they're other places because I have a few foods that I mention in my content that I'm putting out there, and it allows me to come top of mind again.
Love it. Love it. That terrifies me, however, because I talk about fish all the time because I hate it so much.
Oh,
the guise of saying like, I don't care what kind of sale you put out there. If the person doesn't want it, they're not going to buy it. Like if people start sending me fish, I might just like, I don't know what I would do.
Do they send you like pictures of fish and stuff?
Just comments
like
and emojis. I get the emojis, which is okay. I can handle a fish emoji.
Maybe you should start finding some food that you love that you can like add into your content plan.
I think that's on my list.
So if you want to test this and you want like proof that this actually works, go to your personal profile on Facebook, not on Instagram, not on TikTok, not on Snapchat, not on your business page, not in a group, on your personal profile, and write the words Brussels sprouts, yes or no. It's going to go crazy.
I know from personal experience that it does go crazy. And I should tell you that because you were an amazing guest for my summit. And when people did it, they were like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then people who'd missed it were like, what are you guys talking about? What? They're like, you better go watch Molly Mahoney's because she's going to tell you about the Brussels sprouts. It's crazy.
So good.
People care about their food.
I love it. So that's the Quesadilla of Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a human thing that makes it easy to talk, right? Mm-hmm. And then you can look at those comments and see, where do these people fit into the type of network that I'm building? Are they good power partners where you'll do an interview with them maybe? Are they good hostesses? Are they, great ideal customers? Are they your current customers that you should actually be talking to still?
Yeah.
Are they your family members that you forgot to talk to because you've been so busy trying to be a salesy weirdo?
There's that too. All possible scenarios. I love this. I want to because we've got to talk about the bots because because you are a bot master. First of all, I want to call you like Mr. Arigato, Mr. Roboto, however that goes. You're so good with the bots, and when I watch your videos, I learn from the bots, and I finally saw. No, you did not. This was not planned, everyone. If you're not watching, she literally just put.
This is my new mask for the quarantine. I'm just kidding.
A robot quarantine mask. Oh my gosh. Okay. You are the bot queen. And I have to tell you that because I got ManyChat, but I hadn't used it to its full extent. And then I was watching you and I was like, oh, I need to do that for my live videos. So now my live videos, I'll go on really quick once I have them on. and I'll say such and such.
Yeah.
And my viewers are getting such a kick out of it, but it's also it enables me to get the information they want to them quickly. So can you talk about bots? Anything you want to say about bots?
Yeah. So we use them as a part of our Map to Millions. And our Map to Millions is a whole huge framework, this ecosystem really, that includes three pieces. It's announcing that the video is happening. That's the A. It's APR, announcing that the video is happening, pretending that people are there when you're live. I want to highlight, I had one video that we generated $90,000 in sales off of one video, and there were 7 people there at peak live viewership. So
Wow.
that means most of the time there was probably 0 viewers there.
Mhm.
Right? But the replay of that video lived on, and that's where we generated the sales because I was strategic in the way that I was having a Mr. Rogers style conversation, one-to-one,
Mm.
talking to your neighbor, right? Okay. And then the R of the Map to Millions is the repurposing. So after you do the video, then you chop it up into GIFs. You chop it up into all these different things. We just got approved last night for stickers on Instagram. So we have prepared performer stickers on Instagram, and I'm so excited about it. Those gift stickers.
Congratulations. That's
Uh,
huge.
I'm like, I've been trying to figure it out for 2 years. I'm so excited. But we use our videos, they turn into GIFs. By showing up and creating this content, it's once a week, you're creating this wealth of stuff that you can put everywhere, and it leads to product purchases, and it leads to to building your team.
Mhm.
Once you start doing this consistently and you start building a community, what you'll find is it's impossible to keep up with the engagement if you follow my advice. And so what you do is you can actually use a messenger bot, and it's an automated version of your Facebook Messenger on your business page, and it will reply to the comments, and you have to set it up, and we use a tool called ManyChat, which we just talked about. But you set it up so that when you say like, oh, give me the word notes below this video and I'll send you the show notes from today, it replies automatically and subscribes them to a messenger bot system that you can then send broadcasts out to tell them when your next live video is happening.
It's amazing. And
It
it
is.
seems, I mean, it's genius, but what you have there, I mean, it works so well. Your bot is like next level. Your bot,
Thank
my
you.
bot's like a baby bot, like, oh, cute little nub nub bot. Your bot is like serious Transformers, like the new movie, like real time. But it's so beneficial. And if you really think about it, I know sometimes people think, well, I just started, I'm not at this level or that level yet. But would you agree that putting
Yeah.
these systems in place helps with the automation as you grow?
It does. So I actually usually suggest that if you don't have more than 10 comments per video, you
Mhm.
don't need to build out the whole entire thing.
Okay.
What you want to do, because sometimes people will be like, oh, I can't go live until I have my bot built. Nah, you can add the bot to it later.
Yeah.
But I will say, I'll say, I'm trying not to say but, and I will say that if you actually connect ManyChat, you can go in and just set up like the most basic little baby stuff, like you're saying. You can click message yourself as a human and write them a message that says, hey, did you still want the stuff from today? And would you like to be reminded the next time I go live? And then it gets them subscribed. So you can start in like the simplest, easiest way. And if you get in the habit of using the system that we teach, which is at the very beginning of your video, you tap into the problem, you say you have a solution coming, and then you offer some sort of free gift or even a link to view products, something like that. You say, give me this word below this video and I'll send you information in Messenger. It's back to the very beginning when we talked about the social triangle. It's a way to automate that social triangle.
Mhm. And it's brilliant.
It's really good.
It's brilliant. So those, some of you are like mind blown. But if you ever want to see the bot in great act, if you want to see a baby bot, watch my videos. You see the baby bot. But if you want to see like a bot in like amazing ninja form, like I'm talking like Olympic champion, like Usain Bolt type of bot, you need to look at Molly's bot. I hope I hyped that
You
up.
know what we started doing? No, that's amazing. Thank you. So and like I love her. She's been around for several years now, so she's got some, some history there.
You're
But
close now.
we've actually I'm so honored to have been featured by ManyChat several times. And I always joke that it's basically like I'm on the team at ManyChat because I've spoken at their events. I've hosted a show for them. I've done so much. So I love being able to, the team is just so amazing. And really my director of education, Kelly, and I, like, we can build bots in our sleep. And we recognize that like our brains have just melded with this technology for some reason. It's a fun, goofy technology, and we can do it really quickly. And we know that that's not the case when people first start learning it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've actually started putting together, we have a whole program that teaches you how to do all this, which is awesome. But we've started putting together mini implementation workshops.
Oh, nice.
And we just released it this week. And I'm so excited about it because it's going to force people to set aside a couple hours to actually get that stuff in place.
Yes. Yes.
Which then saves you so much time in the future. So
absolutely. And the workshops, I mean, that's what I've been doing workshop Wednesdays. I was on one right before we recorded this.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah. And it's literally like I'm like, okay, you guys, you've been avoiding doing the lead generator. We're going to write your lead generator right now. But it's getting people massive action. So I love that you have that information.
So good.
I'll also say about ManyChat, and this is not sponsored by ManyChat, but I do enjoy them, is that their customer service is top. When I have a question, they answer like they're like right there. And I mean a real person, not the bot, that answers my question so quickly that I'm like, oh, thank you, which is awesome because when you're making something and you don't know, you're like, oh, I'll just put it down and you won't come back to it if they don't respond back.
And I just like to reiterate that as they've grown, because it's such a huge, they have such a huge user base now in so many different niches, they have always prioritized that, which has been so great, like so beneficial.
Well, so you tell them I said I noticed, and I really appreciate it. Yeah,
I will.
Please do.
It was their birthday yesterday too, actually.
Happy belated birthday, Manny. Yeah, now like 50.
4 years, I think. So you should. I know this is it. It might not be available when this actually goes live, but there's an Instagram filter that they put out. If you search for ManyChat, you should do a little story and thank them. Tell them that in a story. They'll probably share it.
I will do that.
There's a good tip too. Give compliments to people and tag them.
Amazing how that works.
I like it.
This has been amazing, Molly. I could really talk to you forever, and it's been way too long. So thank you, because I know you have a lot going on. I don't use the B word; it doesn't exist. But you have a lot going on.
Thank you for that. Yeah. But yeah, I'm blessed with amazing opportunities. I'm wonderfully full.
You are, and but a lot of people are wonderfully full, but that doesn't mean they do anything with it. And so thank you for sharing and being abundant about it. It really makes a difference. Some people have all the knowledge and they're like, I'm not going to share that with you. I'm going to keep it to myself, but you don't do that. So
thank you.
So many great, I'm going to use your word nuggets on this. Because if you know Molly, she talks about the nugget like all the time. Nuggets.
I just realized my video this morning got so crazy, and I told you we did this messenger room and the sound was going bananas. I forgot to pick the nugget winner this morning. I'll have to go pick it later. That's
yes, you will.
Send a follow-up message.
Yes, you will. So if you guys would do me this favor, if you're listening and I know you got a lot of nuggets, like you got the whole pot of gold, not just nuggets, but please go to Molly. And Molly, do you prefer it on Facebook or Instagram? Where do you?
Yeah, Facebook. So we do some stuff on Instagram. I'm almost at 10,000 likes on Instagram, which I am, or followers, whatever, which I'm super stoked about. I'm also doing stuff on TikTok now.
I know you are. I watched your whole presentation on TikTok last week.
Yes, a good one, right? Guy?
Yeah,
Andrew. Yeah, I fully committed. I recorded 10. I batched 10 videos this weekend.
I batched 12. And yes, I did. And you can tell Andrew that I batched 12, and not only did I batch 12, but I'm putting out 2 a day for 90 days. I'm like, I know he did 3, but I'm like, that's you, Andrew.
I love it. So I did 3 yesterday, and I haven't posted any today.
Post this. Hey, but the batch thing, and that you can save them that in the draft.
So I've got them ready to go. This morning I've just been on calls straight through since 9:00. But where can people follow you on TikTok? I don't think we're connected there, are we?
No, we're not. And we need to be. Roxtalks podcast.
I like it. Okay, I'm going to find you there.
Yeah.
And back to your original question, Facebook is where we mainly live. I would so appreciate a review if you found value out of today. Share the nugget there in a review because it lets me know that things are valuable for you. And I have an awesome free gift also.
Yay. Wait, really quickly though.
Okay.
A review on the Prepared Performer. They got to know where to find you because it's not
Sorry,
Molly
yeah,
Mahoney.
on Facebook. Thank you. Well, it is. It's Molly
It's Molly
Mahoney
Mahoney
dash the
dash
prepared performer.
Not that I know or anything. That was a little awkward.
But
Sorry.
on TikTok and Instagram, it is the prepared performer, so that you can prepare to perform on your videos. And yeah, and then if you go to Molly.live/rocks, ROX, I actually have created this Map to Million starter kit. So it's a video that walks through everything that we just talked about with the bots and the live videos, all of that, a video content planner. You can meet Mollybot there. There's a little link to meet her. My favorite video tool, which is B.live, and all kinds of stuff. So it's good.
Love it. Thank you so much. And do please go and give her a what did you call it? A review. Yes, a review of wonderfulness, of awesomeness on there. And then also go and check out what she has for you because you will learn, like I said, every time I see Molly, I know I'm gonna learn something. And it's usually about 10 things. So thank you so much for this. And thank you for your abundance.
Thank you so much for having me. You're the best.
Yeah. And you know what? I'll take that. Thank you. You're the best too. When we're done with this thing, we need to actually maybe.
Yeah, I know. Like for reals.
Yeah, for reals.
I don't know how we didn't do that already.
We
need to do it.
Yeah, we need to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be done and done.
Awesome. We can go to the tiki bar.
Oh my gosh, totally. Meeting at Strong. We could do a whole tiki bar tour because we could go to Strongwater, then we could go to Trader Sam's at Disneyland.
Oh,
have you been there?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing.
I'm in.
We'll do all the tiki. I love it. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, Molly.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Since we're talking all things video, I thought it'd be a great time to share with you an app that I actually learned about courtesy of, courtesy of my producer when it came to the summit, as well as Molly Mahoney brought it up as well too when we first met. And it's B.live or B.live, whatever you want to call it. It is an ability for you to do your live video and stream not only on Facebook but also on YouTube. If you did the live video challenge that I offered a few months ago, you know that I'm a big fan of it, and I use it for 99.999% of my videos on Facebook. And here's the reason: it allows me to go ahead and add different elements to my video that I like and enjoy, like putting on a scrolling bar or putting on a caption. You can, when it comes to split screen or bringing people on, you can have 5, 6 people on, maybe even more than that. And you can also bring people's comments up, which I love, onto the screen while we're talking. It's a really great place to do that, and just more, I'm just dabbling into it. But if you're looking for a way, or if you feel like you want to up your game when it comes to your Facebook Lives, I highly encourage you to try B.live. And you can check out information about that on this episode of Roxtalks podcast. Just go to the .com. Okay, so we're going to dive right into the mindset moment / behind the scenes. I told you that we were headed to Arizona because Scott needed a haircut, and Arizona was open and California at the time was not. So we went on the road, and I felt like I needed to go with him. I mean, come on. And I did, and it was the best trip. It was less than 36 hours, maybe it's 36 hours exactly, but I got to see my family. And while I didn't get to hug them or wrap my arms around them, which would be hugging them, we had so much fun seeing my dad, seeing my mom, my stepdad, seeing my sisters and my nephew. It was the best. And what I can tell you is this: we forget how important that is. And while we do a weekly Zoom call together, it's not the same as seeing each other. It rejuvenated me in so many different ways. And now I'm back in quarantine again, and that's okay. But man, y'all, if you can have an opportunity to see your loved ones or to have some type of a connection with them, it's a good reset. Whatever you need to reset. And if you can make that happen, make it happen. It wasn't about the haircut. It was about seeing them and being able to be with them and just knowing that they're doing all right. So that was really special. I wanted to share that with you and remind you that you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're exactly where you need to be. I'm so thrilled that you're on this journey with me. If you liked anything about this, if it spoke to you in any way, please don't hesitate to share it with someone. And also hop on Instagram at Roxtalks, tag me. I'd love to share it on my story. You guys take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye.